guys, today we're going to do a really quick color correcting makeup lesson. So I was doing my makeup today and I realized that I had a weird situation going on in my face that I thought would be a really good teaching moment. So I've done my whole face of makeup using the Demi method. I've done my whole base and my eye makeup, obviously, but I left this entire bottom portion of my face completely bare. So I have no makeup on here, basically, like all of the bottom of my face. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I have something that's sort of not very unique on my face that a lot of people have, and that is discoloration around the mouth. I see this on a lot of faces. I think it's pretty typical. So when you look at my face, especially like right here and like this spot right here and just this whole general area, it looks a little yellow, right? It looks a little bit sallow. I just look very yellowy around my mouth. And if you've learned about what excess color looks like in the skin, this actually isn't yellow in my skin, it's excess green. Excess green can present this way in the skin. It can look like a yellow discoloration, kind of sallow, kind of muddy. It can be even darker and be even more of a brown muddy tone. And it's the same excess color that you find in freckles, hyperpigmentation. It's all the same green family. And I think the thing that's unique about this situation is that I actually have a couple blemishes in that same area that are healing that I need to filter and cover up and hide as well. And so you might think like, well, how do you color correct all those colors, right? In blemishes, this looks red, right? Most people would just look at a zit and say it's red. But actually, this is excess violet in the skin because as you can see, it's more of like a magenta fuchsia color. If it was a true red, it would be inflamed, hot, angry, like a really brand new angry zit. But these are actually like in the healing process right now. So they're getting a little bit darker as they heal. So this is excess violet with a little bit of excess blue. So it's kind of a blue violet in there. So I'm gonna need to color correct those as well. And you might think, how are you going to color correct all these different colors? It sounds hard. It's really not. You also might be asking yourself why I don't just put foundation on, right? Put a skin toned product over the entire area, maybe use concealer on the spots, call it a day. And the thing is I could do that. I find that whenever you put a skin toned product over something with excess blue, especially in it, it's still going to peek through. There's still going to be that excess blue showing a shadow through the makeup. And then you end up having to pile on more concealer to try to hide that shadow. Really, the result of that is going to be a lot of makeup texture on the skin. It's going to look like you're wearing makeup because you have to use a lot more product to hide that excess color. And for a lot of people, that's fine. That's no problem with that. But me personally, I don't like my makeup to look like I'm wearing makeup. I like it to look as invisible as possible. So that is why I prefer to use correctors to get rid of things like this because it uses color science to do a lot of the heavy lifting to hide excess color in the skin without having to pile on lots of product. So it's a little bit more invisible. So we are going to use the Demi method and use correctors to hide all of this. So the first thing I want to do, if I have to tone a large area of skin of discoloration, that's what I want to start with. So to address all this excess green around my entire bottom of my face, I like to use pink because the opposite of green is red and the light version of red is pink. So I'm going to use this shade right here. This is R1, so it's red 1. And I'm using the wash brush. I like to use the small side of the wash brush. It's kind of a bigger brush to get a larger area. So I'm gonna dip right into that. This shade right here, R1, is one of the shades of Demi that I go through the fastest, and it's because of this issue. So I just tap my brush in it a few times, and I'm just gonna kind of fluff over those areas that look yellow to me, green. And it's such a sheer product, and I'm using such a small amount, and the pink color is doing the majority of the work as opposed to the opacity of a product. So it's invisible on the skin. You can't see that I'm applying anything to the skin, but you can tell it's already done something, right? It doesn't look as yellow. It looks a little bit brighter. It's a lot less distracting than it was. I gotta do it to the other side. This spot right here in particular is so green. So I start there. So already a huge, huge improvement. So, I mean, that's good for me. To me, as long as you take down how distracting something is in the skin and you're just not noticing it as much, that's the success you're looking for. So now the only thing that's left that's still distracting are these zits. So let's get rid of them. I'm gonna switch to a much more precise brush. This is the spot brush. It's very, very tiny. So as I said, these are excess violet with some excess blue, making them dark inside there. So what I want to do is I want to go right for the darkness first because that's the most distracting part about them. So I'm going to use some orange to counteract that blue. So I'm going to start by using this shade right here. This is Y01. So this is a yellow orange. So that means that it's orange, but it has a little bit of yellow in it. So it's going to kind of do double duty on a violet blue. So I'm going to get a little tiny bit on my brush. And I'm just gonna stay inside the lines and only apply this where I see that darkness, that excess blue. And sometimes it's not even just the blemish itself, it's kind of around it as well. And I have another spot here that's healing. It's kind of turning into a little scar, and I just want to hide that too. Sometimes when I have some on my brush, I just kind of get any spots around it that I see. So that's pretty much it. But if you look, you can see I still see some violet kind of poking through. I want to get rid of it. So I'm going to switch and I'm going to use this one. This is Y1. So this is yellow. And that is going to address any remaining excess violet. And there we go. And as you can see, it's not perfect because there's texture in my skin because these are zits that are healing. Really not much I can do about that. When I have a spot like this, I generally do like to set it with a little bit of powder just because it really does just help it stay put. And I like using this translucent powder by e.l.f. a lot. And what I'm going to do is just get a little bit of that, gently press it on top so it doesn't disturb it. I'm going to finish up my makeup real quick. Okay, and that's it. That concludes today's Demi lesson. If you want to shop, you can use the link in my bio, or if you need help choosing colors to address specific skin concerns, you can always fill out my Demi Colour Consultation Form through the link in my bio there as well, and I will email you some personalized recommendations. If you have any questions, comment them down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!